All right, welcome back, you guys. It is Wednesday, July 7th, 2021, and the Tampa Bay Lightning have won the Stanley Cup in back-to-back years. If you're keeping count, this was the fourth championship Tampa's been involved in since Tom Brady went to Tampa, and three of those have been won. Last year, the Lightning won the Stanley Cup after Tom Brady went to town. The Rays made it to the World Series and lost. The Bucks became the first ever team to play in the Super Bowl when their city was hosting, and they won it. And now the Lightning have won again. And last year when the Lightning won, we saw that if they won on the date that they did over the Dallas Stars, they would win 44 days after lightning burned up the Bay Area. Do you remember last year, August 15th, 2020? There was unprecedented lightning storms in the Bay Area that burned up the area, including Tom Brady's hometown. We saw that from that day, the lightning strikes, to the day of the Stanley Cup, the day it was finalized, we saw 44 days later, the Tampa could close it out that day, and in Gematria, lightning equals 44. And this post is from almost a year ago now. Remember, the season was pushed back because of the whole COVID thing. But the Lightning closed out the Stars 4-2, Game 6, September 28th, exactly 44 days after the unprecedented lightning attacks in Tom Brady's hometown. And lightning in Gematria equals 44. Now, if you're new here, Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words, and when you know this code, you can see through the news and sports in real time. And it's based on the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards. And I want to show you something about lightning, because lightning also has the value of 55, and of course, Tom Brady played in Super Bowl 55 last year. Well, here we are today, right? July 7th, 2021. The date numerology today is 7 plus 7 plus 20 plus 21, which equals 55, right? 55. And from Super Bowl 55, which was February 7th that Tampa Bay won, to today, it's 150 days later, right? It's 150 days later. That's a number associated with flooding and storms in the Bible, because in Genesis, where the Bible begins, the flood that covers the earth ends after 150 days, right? So from Super Bowl 55 to today, the day that Tampa wins the Stanley Cup again, is exactly 150 days later. And again, you can verify this very easily. February 7th, 2021, the date of Super Bowl 55, to today, July 7th, is 5 months later. It's also 150 days. Genesis 7:24, the waters flooded the earth for 150 days. What happened in Florida today? Parts of it got flooded from Elsa. And what's the number we always teach about with hurricanes and flooding and rituals? 52, right? 52. So, look at this. Hurricane is 52, right? Hurricane is 52 when you use the alphabetic order and the rules of numerology. And in case I didn't make that point clear a second ago, again, lightning is 55 with the alphabetic order forwards. It's 44 with the alphabetic order in reverse. But this most pure cipher, lightning 55, hurricane 52. Today, the Lightning picked up their 52nd win of the entire season, regular season and playoffs. Today, they get their 52nd win on the day that Hurricane Elsa passes through Tampa. And realize that's the way the news focused on it, right? You know, it passed through a lot of Florida, but they had the big focus on Tampa, how it was going through Tampa, the day that Tampa closes out. Now, is this a coincidence? No, it's not. This is not a coincidence, you guys. Weather warfare is a real thing. Remember, when you use the alphabetic order, just the alphabetic order, the most simple cipher, flood is 52, earth is 52, the Babylonian god of flooding is Enlil, Enlil's 52. All of this knowledge goes back to Babylon. Babylon. Again, this is Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. It's thousands of years old, and it's alive and well in English, and there's rituals every year with floods in 52. It's already happened a bunch of times this year. Last year, we called damn near every hurricane date that it would make landfall, months in advance because of the 52 thing, and we've done this year after year. And again, Vice News, they wrote their article about me some years back now. Wacko YouTuber approves World Series was rigged, and what it's about is how I called the World Series dead on, what teams would be in it, who would win, based on weather warfare and the number 52. And this is around the time I put out my first book, which has a chapter on weather warfare and why it was first admitted to in 1952. But remember, when Harvey flooded Houston on the 52 date numerology, which it did on the 239th day of the year, which is the 52nd prime, shortly after that, Matt Harvey became the first pitcher to pitch in Houston after the flood, exactly 52 days before the scheduled start date of the World Series. Exactly 52 days, right? And again, Vice News wrote this article making fun of what I revealed, which is 100% factual and has proven, the point I made all these years ago has proven itself over countless times since. But today, the Lightning pick up their 52nd win of the season as the hurricane blows over. And again, it's not just that it's also synced with the rigged Super Bowl. And again, that's how rigged the game is, you guys. This is how rigged it is. Brady, his whole claim to fame with the Patriots after 9/11 and the Patriot Act. And remember, the day of 9/11, there was a hurricane out in the Atlantic that never made landfall, but it just stayed out in the Atlantic. It's another story. Go back and look at that. And don't forget, Brady born in 77. Here we are on 7/7. When you write out September 11th, 77, all this stuff is related because it's all military. It's all military. 9/11 was a major military act. Military technology taking down the buildings. Again, you guys, sports, essentially what they are, is the distraction for the manpower so that they never really see what they're living in. You know, this military empire destroying the world, killing the people of the world, and most people just don't even care because they're just too busy with all the entertainment and sports and all this. But it's all just like a giant mockery. But it's all one connected thing, too. And it's all executed by this code, by the Jesuits, who are the military order that work on behalf of the Catholic Church, that are the New World Order, that control this nation and many other nations. And no doubt control the technology. And it might be more than technology, too. I mean, this could be something demonic. I mean, I don't know all that these people are capable of, but I do understand how they work by these very repetitive patterns, and they do it again and again and again. You want to see another 52? Remember Katrina. Katrina's another 52. What happened after Katrina hit New Orleans in a majorly suspect story? Oh, yeah, the Saints won the championship, right? The Saints won the championship. The 1989 World Series earthquake that just happened to happen in the Bay Area, known for earthquakes when you got two Bay Area teams playing each other. And do you remember how perfect that ritual was? If you guys haven't read my first book, it's in there, how it was all synced up with Jose Canseco. Here, I'll show you something real quick. Jose Canseco. Let's go back and look him up. The reason we're looking at Jose Canseco is because if you've never seen the 1989 World Series earthquake, they're showing a replay of the last game right before the game's about to start. And in the replay, the last thing seen on the screen is Jose Canseco crossing home plate, pumping his fists, number 33. But here's the thing. From his birthday, July 2nd, to the date of the earthquake, the World Series earthquake, was exactly 107 days after his birthday, right? And his full name in Gematria equals 107. You see how his name's also 55? Look at earthquake when I write it out. Earthquake, 107, 55. You see how earthquake's 107, 44, 55? Look at military. Military, 107, 44, 55. And again, the fact that all these things are synced together and so perfect, it is mind-blowing. And it reminds you that the knowledge goes all the way back to Babylon. What if back in the day, the military of Babylon with this knowledge, they're also backed by this demonic energy, make the battlefield quake for other people, flood out the troops. I mean, I don't know that this is true or not true, but what I do know is all of this stuff is perfectly synced up, and they're doing this stuff year after year after year. And again, for anyone who doubts the word I'm saying, go measure from Jose Canseco's birthday to the day that the World Series earthquake happened. 107 days later. Last thing shown on the TV. And what time did they say that earthquake happened at? Go look it up. 5:04 p.m. Pacific. That's what time they say the earthquake happened. 5:04. So the key digits are 5 and 4. Baseball, 54. 54 outs in a game. An earthquake to the minute in a perfect ritual between two Bay Area teams, perfectly synced with what was being shown on TV, and realize that's all possible if it's planned out. You know you're going to start the replay clip at this time because as he crosses home plate, that's exactly how it is, by the way. If you haven't seen, tempted to even show it, but I don't want to get it taken down for copyright. But look it up. You can even watch it on YouTube. Type in 1989 World Series earthquake. It'll show the clip. They're showing the review. Jose Canseco comes across home plate, pumps the fist, and then the whole screen cuts to fuzz. That's when the earthquake happened. And for all the baseball fans out there, you probably recognize the 162 number of games in a season. If you write out Major League Baseball, if you do it forwards, it's also got the 162. If you write out MLB, the acronym, it's even got a 54 in it. And who's behind all this? Again, the Jesuit order, the 54 gang. But okay. Again, the Lightning pick up their 52nd win tonight. Hurricane 52, Flood 52, Earth 52, Enlil 52, all these rituals with 52 and flooding. With sports, you now have the Katrina example. You now have the Houston Astros example. By the way, you see how when you write out hurricane, it's 56 in reverse? Remember, this was the 56-game season. The Canadians made it to the Stanley Cup, and I pointed out before the season began, I said, you better investigate those Canadians. They're the team with the 56 connection. It's the 56-game season. If you took the Canadians to get to the Stanley Cup, you did very well. And all the dumb trolls would be like, oh, they didn't win. God, you guys are fucking jerk-off, worthless piece of shit losers. If you bet on the Canadians to be in the Stanley Cup, you made a lot of money this year, okay? You might have bet on them to win. Doesn't even matter. You still went home with a boatload of cash, and they didn't need to win. Again, that's why the rejects that make fun of this work, they're just rejects, period. They're just worthless fucking losers. They're like fruit flies that never go away. That's what they're like. But with regards to the Canadians 56 and Hurricane 56, notice natural disasters also 56. When the Astros won the World Series, that was their 56th season, you see? Houston, Harvey, the Matt Harvey ritual. And hey, what's funny is Matt Harvey was pitching today in the Major League. What are the odds that Matt Harvey's starting on this day again? I'm telling you, none of this stuff's a coincidence. None of it is a coincidence. Matt Harvey doesn't pitch that often. He was starting today. He had a start today on the day of this ritual. Not a coincidence. All part of the mockery, all part of the script. And I'm sure there's a lot more to this ritual with just like the players on the team and the coaches, but I don't follow hockey at all, and I don't even care to look that far into it. I mean, this is enough right here. Lightning close out on the 55 date, 150 days after Super Bowl 55, the number connected to the biblical flood on a day of storms and flooding in parts of Florida. It wasn't the worst hurricane, obviously. It wasn't the worst flooding, but it still happened, and it's very clear that this is the ritual. And by the way, the other thing that I pointed out that we got to think about now is the Lightning just won 4-1, synced with the Super Bowl. Remember when Brady won at age 41? Super Bowl's got the 41 in the most pure cipher. Football's got the 43. Brady won at age 41 and age 43. But now what I'm starting to wonder about is I'm like, man, I was thinking he was going to have to wait till, if he's going to go back to another one, I was thinking it was going to be at age 45, but I'm like, man, maybe we better think more about this. The Lightning won 44 days after his hometown burned up in the lightning attack last year, which again was on August 15th, which is the day the Jesuits were created in history in Paris, France in 1534. Jesuits were created August 15th, 1534. Last year on that day, Donald Trump, who's his buddy, Donald Trump's brother, Donald Trump, the Jesuit-educated puppet, his brother died on August 15th last year. The Bay Area burned up. Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope. San Francisco, named after St. Francis of Assisi, like Pope Francis. But anyway, Brady's going to be 44 years old this year. And the Lightning go back-to-back with the 44 connection. Super Bowl 56. It's the 102nd NFL season, right? Slavery's 102, the N-word's 102. Last year on the day, leaving 102 days left in the year, the NFL had a record amount of black quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks, facing each other that day. And ESPN's story for that was Deshaun Watson versus Lamar Jackson and the Ravens beat the Texans and became 10-2 against them all day. There was a lot of 102 rituals that day. Cowboys 102 had the big comeback over the Falcons. The Russell Wilson and Cam Newton faced each other, and the game ended at the 1-yard line. The Patriots couldn't get in at the 1, just like Russell Wilson couldn't get in at the 1 against Tom Brady in Super Bowl 49. But I was really thinking, it could still happen. I was really thinking that this year, since it's the 102nd season in Super Bowl 56, and these numbers are all over the rituals going on right now with Black Lives Matter, I was thinking we would see 2 black quarterbacks face each other. I thought the clue was what they did last year on the day leaving 102 days left in the year. That's possible, but I am really starting to worry that they're going to stick Tom Brady in the Super Bowl again this year, now with the Lightning 44 thing. And so, again, I'm putting that out there for now. I'm going to do a lot more research, but I was thinking this was not going to be Brady's year until the Lightning are back doing this again. And then with regards to Super Bowl 56, we could have plenty of natural disasters, and realize they're truly unnatural disasters. This is military technology, possibly demonic wickedness. Rain dance. That you think about spirituality and weather. Native Americans, the rain dance. I don't know what's all capable. I don't. Nobody knows everything. I talk about as much as I can understand. But Super Bowl 56, it could have something to do with natural disasters, too. We know they like to do the Natural Disaster Sports Championship. It's Agenda 21, all the crazy weather warfare. Who knows what all stories we'll have to deal with between now and the Super Bowl. But, this year in the NBA, you have a black coach versus a white coach. It's a year of sevens. If Monty Williams wins the finals, he'll be the 7th black coach to win the NBA Finals. And remember, you got 2 teams with 2 56 connections. Phoenix Suns is 56 in the most pure cipher. And then with the most simple cipher, just the alphabetic order, Bucks is 56. Again, 56 is everywhere in sports right now. That's why you got to know your 56 teams. And anyway, so that could be part of the narrative. It could end up being, what I'm trying to say is it could end up being a black quarterback versus a white quarterback, and that white quarterback might be Tom Brady. Just like you have a black coach versus a white coach. And by the way, you guys, just with regards to bringing up the NBA Finals is 61. They moved the finals date to July 6th, which was hilarious because the Suns were in their first championship in 76. And yesterday they picked up their 76th all-time win against the Bucks on 7-6. And because they moved the date to 7-6, all year the NBA had Finals Game 1 scheduled for July 8th. They moved it to July 6th. And remember, July 8th was 283 days after Kevin Durant's birthday, the 61st prime. And like I'm saying, every year they do a big 61 ritual at the Finals. That's why part of the reason I had a repeat of the 56th NBA season, Nets and Lakers, for my Finals pick before the year began. But if you took my advice before the season, you might have hedged with the Suns and Bucks because those were my backup teams. The Suns were my backup team in the West. The Bucks are my backup team in the East. Last year, the Bucks were my number 1 team. I really still think the finals last year was supposed to be Lakers and Bucks in tribute to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Abdul-Jabbar's 74. It was the 74th season. But this year's the 75th season. The Suns had 75 wins all-time against the Bucks going into the finals. Again, yesterday they got their 76th win all-time against the Bucks on 7-6. And the Suns' first finals in 76. But the thing is, Chris Paul, yesterday was 61 days after Chris Paul's birthday that he makes it to his first finals. 61 days after his May 6th birthday. And don't forget, he clinched his finals appearance on the 56th day of his age. But yesterday was 61 days after Chris Paul's birthday. And it should remind everybody that his grandfather was murdered the day that he signed with the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. They said his grandfather was murdered at age 61 randomly the day he signed with the Demon Deacons. And the story is he scored 61 points in the game. There's a 30 for 30 on it. He misses the final free throw on purpose to stay at 61 points in tribute to his dead grandfather. And as sick as things are, the day that Chris Paul was in high school and signed with the Demon Deacons, Tim Duncan's school, he might have been told his future that day, that he will make it to a finals. And, this is the agreement. We got to know we got a real piece of shit here to sell out the fans for many years. What do you say about giving up old Pops? Oh, man, I'm going to be famous. I'm going to get lots of money and pussy. Sorry, Pops. But yeah, Chris Paul makes it to his first finals 61 days after his 5'6" birthday when everything is 56 right now. So all pro sports, you guys, are completely rigged, zero competition, completely rigged, and we prove it every day with this knowledge, but this shows you how rigged it is. It has to be a completely rigged season to make sure that they have 52 wins on this date, 150 days after Super Bowl 55, on the 55 date numerology, as they got their planned storm passing over. So, again, understand what it is to support these sports leagues. It is to support the New World Order cabal that has nothing but contempt for us and is truly out to destroy the world. They are. 100%. And, yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. For all the hockey fans out there, I'm sure there's a whole lot more to this. For those of you guys who know hockey, just learn this simple code of Gematria. Alphabetic order, forwards and backwards. I just made my books free on my Patreon page again. If you need an introduction, my first book, Letters and Numbers. If you can take the time to read the first 100 pages of that book, you'll know a whole lot about Gematria. You'll understand the code. It's very simple. Apply it. Within minutes of applying it, you'll start to see through things. I mean, hockey's not a sport I know very much about. I couldn't tell you the name of a single player on either team. I can't tell you the name of either coach. I mean, I could look all this stuff up and do some research if I wanted to, but I don't even feel like I need to show any more beyond this. So, also, Vice News. When are we going to get the follow-up article, man? When are we going to get the follow-up article on the wacko YouTuber that is I, according to you, who last year called damn near every hurricane? And just think about how many championships we've called even since this. How many we called before this, since then. And, yeah, again, how are you going to deny it? On the day a hurricane passes over the 52nd win of the season? I mean, come on. Come on, man. All right. We'll leave it there for tonight, you guys. And, yeah, until next time.